Once upon a time, in a village nestled at the foot of a lush green mountain, there lived a shepherd boy. His days were spent guarding the village sheep, a task that often bored him. To entertain himself, he would gaze at the world beyond the hillside, imagining adventures far beyond his quiet life. Stories passed down through generations filled his head, particularly the one about the cunning wolf that stalked the mountain paths. This tale would later inspire a prank, one that would change everything. This story, though centuries old, carries a message as relevant today as it was then. It's a story about honesty, trust, and the dangers of deceit. This isn't just a fable from a distant past. It's a mirror reflecting our actions and their consequences. The tale of the boy who cried wolf is a stark reminder that our words have power. They can build bridges or burn them. This timeless story is as important today as it was generations ago, teaching us the importance of honesty and the bitter price of deceit. One sunny afternoon, as the sheep grazed peacefully, the boy's boredom reached its peak. An idea struck him, a mischievous prank to stir some excitement. He cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! The wolf is attacking the sheep!" His voice echoed through the valley, reaching the villagers working in the fields below. The villagers, upon hearing the boy's cries, dropped their tools and rushed uphill to help. They arrived out of breath and worried, only to find the boy chuckling, sheep lazily chewing grass. "There's no wolf," he giggled. "Just kidding." The villagers, initially angered by the boy's deception, sighed in relief. They warned him about the dangers of such jokes and returned to their work. The boy, pleased with the success of his prank, repeated it several times over the following days. Each time, the villagers rushed to help, only to be met with the boy's laughter and sheep going about their business. What began as a harmless prank, a way to break the monotony, quickly turned into a dangerous game. The boy, blinded by the initial amusement, failed to see the harm he was causing. The villagers, initially concerned for the boy and their livestock, grew increasingly frustrated. They felt tricked and foolish, their good intentions taken advantage of. The boy's cries, once a cause for alarm, now fell on increasingly skeptical ears. The villagers, hardened by the repeated deception, began to doubt the boy's words. They would pause, exchanging weary glances whenever the boy's cries echoed from the hillside. The once immediate response, fueled by concern and a sense of community, was replaced with hesitation and distrust. The boy, however, remained oblivious to the changing dynamics. He continued his charade, relishing the temporary excitement it brought, blind to the invisible wall of distrust he was building between himself and the villagers. Then, one fateful afternoon, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the valley, a real wolf emerged from the trees. It was large and menacing, its eyes gleaming with hunger as it lunged for the unsuspecting sheep. Fear, real and immediate, gripped the boy's heart. This was no game. The boy, his voice trembling, screamed for help. "Wolf! Wolf! It's really here! Please help!" But his cries, now hollow from countless lies, were met with silence. The villagers, convinced it was another one of his pranks, dismissed his calls for help. The boy watched in horror as the wolf attacked his sheep. His heart pounded in his chest, a frantic rhythm of fear and regret. His cries for help continued, each one a desperate plea for a rescue that wasn't coming. His calls remained unanswered, lost in the wind that carried only the distant sounds of the village going about its evening. The villagers, their trust broken, continued their routines, oblivious to the real danger unfolding on the hillside. Alone and helpless, the boy witnessed the consequences of his actions. The wolf, having scattered the flock and taken its prey, melted back into the shadows, leaving behind a scene of chaos and the heavy weight of regret. The boy sat amongst the remnants of his flock, the weight of his lies crushing him. The trust, once a sturdy bridge connecting him to the villagers, had crumbled under the weight of his deceit. The boy, his heart heavy with remorse and sorrow, returned to the village that evening. His tale, this time true, was met with a chilling indifference. His reputation, tarnished by his own doing, preceded him. The villagers, though sympathetic to his plight, knew they couldn't rebuild the bridge he himself had destroyed. "We cannot trust your words anymore," they said, their voices filled with sadness. The boy, now ostracized and alone, learned the hard way that honesty is not just a virtue, but a responsibility. The story of the boy who cried wolf serves as a timeless reminder of the importance of honesty. Our words have power, the power to build and the power to destroy. Every time we choose truth, we strengthen the bonds of trust. Every time we choose deceit, we chip away at these bonds, risking their complete collapse.